Hello friend, today I'm gonna show you the non-aesthetic things in my zero waste life. I think a lot of times on the internet, especially when I was first getting started, I saw the prettiest little look of zero waste. Everything was perfect, everything was minimalistic, there were only glass jars and pantries and they all looked the same. That's not what a realistic zero waste life looks like. I'm not cutting out every single piece of plastic from my life, I'm just trying to do the best that I can do. So I'm gonna show you kind of the ugly side of zero waste right now. And a big shout out to Emma from The Simple Environmentalist and Shelby from Shell Bizzle who have already made these types of videos, so I got the inspo from their videos. So I keep our compost in the fridge. My roommate eats a lot of eggs, so we got a lot of eggshells in here. But we just keep dumping it and then refilling it. So we actually have curbside pickup for compost now, which is amazing because I used to take it somewhere else, like a community garden pickup thing. They would compost it, so we just pour it out and we just keep refilling the plastic bag. So I'm sitting on my kitchen countertop right now because of this little cabinet. This is kind of my everything cabinet. All of the extra goodies are in this cabinet. So I have a lot of like plastic containers, glass jars. It's all food packaging that I try to reuse for the most part. So I love these little plastic containers, whether that be for food or for storage around my place. I love this kind of stuff for like bathroom storage. Like I'll put soaps and hair ties and stuff in these containers. And obviously like big glass jars, I reuse a lot for bulk goods and just for other pantry items. There's a lot in here right now and I definitely need to do an audit. I try to like look and see how much I'm actually using throughout the month. And if I'm not using it, I do try to recycle it because I don't want to just have a ton of clutter in my place either, because that's not good for my mental health. So this is an old pie container that I just put some of the cleaning tablets from Blue Land in. I have this ice cream container that I got from my parents' place and I used to keep dishwasher tablets in here. I have this old hummus container that I put the Blue Land hand soap tablets in, so I can just take it out and pop it in the Blue Land hand soap. These are also really great when you're on a budget because you don't have to go out and buy any storage bins or boxes or whatever it may be. You just keep using whatever you already have. Welcome to my little closet full of boxes and packages. Whenever I get stuff delivered, I try to keep as much as possible because I do sell things on Poshmark and Mercari. And instead of going out and getting the USPS boxes when I do want to deliver and ship something, I just keep reusing old things like this girlfriend collective bag. It's a great bag, it does the job, and I can totally reuse this when I sell something on Poshmark. And I try to keep all of these little like pillow things that I absolutely hate and think is so wasteful. I love when companies are using actual paper, but I try to use these whenever I have something kind of fragile or delicate, which isn't that often, but I definitely do use these. I also get great use out of this stuff when I am moving. So the next thing I do is I reuse my old school supplies, which luckily, and I guess unluckily, my parents kept a lot of my old school stuff. I found some old notebooks that had a ton of empty pages in them, so I ripped out all of the old stuff and I'm just using all of the brand new pieces of paper and markers and pens and all kinds of stuff because they still work really well. The next thing I do is I rewear my clothes as many times as possible before washing. I know a lot of people, especially Americans, once you use it once, they just throw it in the washing machine and clean it when you don't necessarily need to do that right away. So I wore this outfit yesterday, this t-shirt, this pair of sweatpants. As long as I don't sweat in it and as long as there aren't any stains or smells, I keep wearing the same clothes. You don't need to necessarily wash them right after you wear them. I also hang dry my clothes. Now I know this isn't necessarily a zero waste thing, but I do know a lot of people my age that don't hang dry a lot of their clothes and they just throw everything into the dryer, which obviously uses a lot more energy than hang drying clothes, and in a lot of different countries they don't even use dryers, they just hang dry their clothes. But the majority of my clothes I do hang dry. I do dry like my sheets and my bedding just because they're such big pieces, and like towels I do dry. But my clothes I hang dry. It makes them last a lot longer. It doesn't shrink them. I just don't have to do as many repairs and upkeep with clothes that I hang dry. Overall, it's a win-win situation if you hang dry your clothes. This might be a little gross and a little old school for some people, but I do use a hanky, a handkerchief, whatever you want to call it. It's just a piece of cloth. If you have any old t-shirt or something that you don't wear anymore, you could totally just cut that up and use that as a hanky as well. But I just throw this in the wash, clean it, and then just keep reusing it rather than throwing out Kleenex every time I need to blow my nose or something. It does the job. I know my grandma used to carry around a handkerchief as well. I remember her offering it to me once as a kid and I was like, that's so gross. But now I use it. It's really interesting seeing how many things that we kind of got rid of in this world of convenience nowadays. And I go back and think about what my grandparents used to do, and now I'm like re-adopting those habits and practices that they used to do. So I don't know, side note, but that is quite interesting. I also have a little thing from Last Swap. They have like a little tissue container and they have a ton of handkerchiefs inside, and I love it. They did gift it to me. So I'll have that link down in the description because that is another great option. Let's talk about reusable period products. I know periods and period products were really taboo to talk about growing up, but it's so natural. It's just the way of the world. People have periods, people are menstruating, humans. We gotta get over it and we gotta keep talking about it. Disposable period products do cost less upfront. However, I would have paid so much more over time if I just stuck with disposable period products, especially the ones that I wanted to use. I would have wanted to use like the organic cotton kind rather than the kind where they don't disclose what is in the period products, which is a whole issue. I have a menstrual cup. This is from Lena. I have my period underwear, which I've also used for years. I've got new ones since I first started using them, and I love this, especially on crampy days. And then I just received these GladRags. They were gifted to me, which I'm very excited to test these out, but I think this is another great reusable option that you just have to clean. And these might be a little more on the gross side for some people, but I will say, in the beginning, I was very grossed out at the thought of reusable period products, but hands down, these are such a game changer. Now here's where I am really going to expose myself. It's not just my stuff that I've collected, so keep that in mind. But this drawer, I've got a ton of paper napkins. I've got plastic utensils that I've gotten from takeout orders. I have some aluminum foil that I don't even know where it's from. I think my roommate put this in there. That's totally clean. What do you do in your own zero waste or sustainable life that is not very aesthetic and is maybe a little ugly or a little gross to some people? I definitely want to know, so let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And just remember, you do not have to be perfect to live sustainably. I will see you in my next video. Bye!